And if I'm being truly honest with you, there are times I record YouTube videos and as I'm uploading it, I ask myself, is anybody going to watch this YouTube video? Today, you and I, us, we too, we are going to have an honest conversation about fear, doubt, imposter syndrome, and how to overcome that, especially in this world of entrepreneurship. And I was inspired to do this video by somebody else's video that they had done on overcoming fear as a starting freelance writer. And I just thought I would do something similar because I've had people hit me up in my DMs and say, I really love your videos on freelance writing. I really enjoy, how bold you are on Instagram, and I want to start something like this, but I don't know. And usually when I dig deeper, it boils down to a few things. Really, what it boils down to fear and doubt, but it usually manifests in different ways. It's usually the fear of rejection, the fear of friends and family not supporting, the fear of, like, if I put this out there, who is even going to like it? Who is even going to comment on it? The fear of it not working out. And we could go down that laundry list of fears, right? There's definitely a lot out there to make us scared. I'm not going to lie. And if I'm being truly honest with you, there are times I record YouTube videos and as I'm uploading it, I ask myself, is anybody going to watch this YouTube video? There are times I have posted things to Instagram and I've gotten no response. There are times I posted things to Instagram and I didn't even think about it. I've gotten a lot of responses, so I think that there's definitely a lot to make us scared, but today I'm going to talk about how you can overcome that fear so you can break out and start that freelance writing business, so that you can break out and start that social media presence, start your YouTube channel, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So let me just tell you even a quick story of something that happened really recently. A lot of you that have been watching me know that I released a book when at Freelance Writing on April 22nd. That was just last week. And, I was so excited. This is a book that I wanted to write for a really long time. I've wanted to write an entrepreneurial book like this, but I was kind of hesitant, right? For several reasons. But one of the reasons was, but who's going to even read this? So I'm just telling you the story to make you realize that I go through it. Okay. You may be looking at me thinking, oh, she's so bold. She's getting it. But I'm afraid too, so I was kind of nervous. And actually on the night before launch day, which was April 21st, I was thinking to myself, are people really going to buy this? Like, I know this is a good book. I know it's going to help people. But is anybody gonna purchase? And is anybody gonna care? And I really felt in my gut, is anybody really going to care about this book? But I launched it anyway. I made sales. I got people reaching out to me saying how much they've enjoyed the book. It's really helped them, and for me, that was encouragement, and that was validation that no, this matters. This matters to certain people. What seems so obvious to me is not so obvious to certain people, and me putting it in a book and putting it out there into the world and allowing them to purchase that book was also service to them. So one of the biggest things, one of the things I would say is really helpful to overcoming your fear of starting is realizing that whatever it is you're doing, it is a service. It is a service. Let me repeat that. It is a service. It's not about you. It's about the people that may be helped along the journey that you're going on. So for instance, on this channel, I talk about freelance writing. If I had never started this channel, right, I'm sure there are other people out there who have channels on freelance. Actually, there are other people out there who have channels on freelancing and freelance writing and creative entrepreneurship. Some people have thousands and thousands upon thousands of subscribers. I could have looked at that and said, oh no, well, the other people doing this, who am I? And then make myself small and then be afraid of the fact that nobody was going to watch my channel. But here I am, a little bit over 2 years later, over 1,000 people subscribe to this channel. People watching my channel every time, people that I don't even know, people that have never talked to me, people that sometimes I'm so surprised that they are subscribed to this channel or have been subscribed for as long as they have been subscribed. The next lesson I've learned about overcoming fear and entrepreneurship is, and really anything, is the fact that most likely your fears will come to pass. I know that doesn't sound reassuring, but it is. Let me tell you why. All right. Most likely the things that you are so afraid of happening may happen, right? You are afraid that people will ridicule you. It may happen. You're afraid that people will reject you. It may happen. You're afraid that you put something out there and nobody will respond to it. It may happen, right? But one of the things that differentiates people that are successful from people that are not successful in a particular pursuit, right, is the fact that the people that tend to be successful and who end up rising up to the top are the people that just kept at it, right? There's a book I read called Grit. And I highly recommend that book. I'm going to leave the link to that book in the comments below. And in that book, right, one of the biggest lessons I took away from the book was the fact that a lot of people that are at the top of their fields, whether it's in sports, in science, medicine, whatnot, is not because of their talent. It's not necessarily that they're more talented than the people that didn't make it to the top, or they're more talented than the people who didn't succeed as much as they have succeeded. Most of the time, it's because they simply kept at it. They simply kept practicing. They simply kept going. They failed just as much as the next person, but they kept it moving. A lot of their fears came to pass, but they kept it moving. So like I was saying before, I've put things on Instagram that people didn't respond to. I've uploaded YouTube videos that I thought were really good and it's fallen flat. And then I go and upload some YouTube videos and everybody's watching that video. So do not be afraid. You just have to keep going and realize that more than likely your fears will happen. You will have friends that reject you. You will have, I tell you all the time, like as a freelance writer, you have to pitch people to get gigs. You may send out a pitch and people will ignore you, or you will lose clients. Like everything that you think you are afraid of most likely will happen. But the beautiful thing is that one event, one failure, or even 5 failures does not your life make. It does not make up your entire life. Sometimes I know, and I've done this in the past where I've had a massive failure and I've looked at it as, oh, this is the end of my life. And of course, a year and a half later, after the fact, I'm like, well, that was not the end of my life. Why was I so melodramatic? Once you accept the fact that I may fail, but in spite of the failures and in spite of the fact that I'll fall down on my face, I'm still going to move forward. Another thing that has been helpful for me when sometimes I sit down and think about the fact that, oh, I tried this and it didn't happen, I tried that and it didn't happen, is something I actually discussed in Win at Freelance Writing. And it was the fact that sometimes it's not the fact that your goal didn't work. Let's say you have a goal to get freelance writing clients, or you have a goal to lose weight, right? Let's take the weight one. Let's say you have a goal to lose weight and then you try a particular diet and it doesn't really work. Like, not the fact that you just did it 3 times and it didn't work. Like you tried, like you tried it for a month or 2 and it didn't work, right? It's not the goal that's broken, okay? It's not that you can never achieve the goal. It may be the method that you're trying to use to get to the goal. It may just be that that particular diet doesn't work for you, okay? True story. It may be that it just doesn't work for you, but perhaps if you switch it up and try something else, keeping the main goal still, that you will get to that goal by trying a different path. So for instance, you know, when I started out doing online business, I started with a lot of things, right? I started out creating courses on Udemy. I've created courses before. I've had different models of business. And there have been times where I tried it for more than just 1 month, or like on Udemy, for instance, I created multiple courses. I created like 3 or 4 courses on Udemy. I really tried to market those courses. It just did not work. And yet there were people on Udemy who were raking in like 6 figures. I don't know if it was 6 figures, but maybe like $10,000 per month, right? They were raking a lot of money at that time. And then here was she making maybe $200, $300, which is not still bad, but it's just like, what's happening to your girl, you know? So after about 3 or 4 courses, I realized that Udemy, and then there were other things, but Udemy really was not the platform for me. And that I mean, and 3 or 4 courses, really, the people that were even bringing in $10,000 a month, they had 20 courses, you know. So maybe I could have just kept on going and created 20 courses. But at the time, I couldn't imagine what I could create 20 mini courses on to sell on Udemy. So it's just like, forget this, bruh. Anyway, so it was not the fact that I was trying to make money online. It was that I was trying all these different things that were not necessarily working. And it wasn't until I settled into freelance writing that I saw my income take off. I saw it take off, right? I saw that side income just take off and move in directions that I did not even expect, and that I had read about but had never experienced myself. So, you know, you may try to do something, right? And you try. Like, once again, don't try 3 times and come and tell me that it didn't work. Friend, don't try 3 times and say it didn't work. Like, try it. And then if you put the work in and realize, okay, this is not working, then you pivot. Then you find something else that can work. I found that writing really works well for me. And I've stayed in that lane, and you may find that something else works really well for you. And when you do find that path, you can stay there. But the fact that you failed at something because you're on one path does not necessarily mean that the end goal is not valid. And then it's also important to realize that everybody feels the fear, the doubt, the imposter syndrome that you're feeling. I could tell you stories upon stories about imposter syndrome. I actually have a video I did on imposter syndrome you can check out here, where I talk about a particular story in my life where I went through imposter syndrome, you know, and so don't think that you're the only one going through it. You know, even the most confident people on camera, the most confident people that you see on social media, wherever it is, they go through these feelings, you know. And sometimes people can have like 100,000 subscribers, they can have 1 million followers, and they still have these feelings. The accomplishment is not in the number themselves, okay? The numbers, you know, when we call them vanity metrics, they really are vanity metrics. I mean, they're people that have done super well on YouTube and have talked about the depression that they've been through, right? So I guess, you know, this could become a long philosophical conversation, but do not tie your self-worth to likes. Do not tie your self-worth to followers. Do not tie your self-worth even to the amount of money that you're making. I know that money buys a lot of things and answers a lot of problems, but do not tie your self-worth to that, because when that thing is removed, or when those things don't bring you joy anymore, I mean, it's depressing, you know. So I just wanted to make this video really to just encourage you to do it in spite of the fear. Everybody feels it, but just do it in spite of the fear.